Hey, y'all. I hope you're doing well today. I am trying to figure this out for my very first time. So I'm hoping that I've got this this presser. I hope I have it all set up right. I hope you're all doing well. We've got storms coming in last few days. So I'm wondering what this update's going to be all about. It should be coming in about 5 minutes. So I'm not sure if I'm here alone right now or it's all good. Just a beginner here. Let's see if I can. Four minutes, I think, until. So let's see if I can do this. I might have it set up okay. I think. I've been spending so much time on the Kylie Rodney case that I kind of fell behind on some of the things that are happening. And there's a lot that's happening as usual. So what have I done here? 1:49. Let's hope this presser pops in. I'll get rid of that sound. Well, let's hope. It's got a little over a minute. Pretty sure I'm in here alone trying to figure this out, which is not necessarily a bad thing. My word. Oh, I hope this kicks in. Live. Good Lord. Come on, presser. Can you all see what I'm doing here? Yipes.
Welcome to my channel, Level Headed with Levi D.
Hey, Levi.
Please hit the subscribe button, the like button.
Well, I hope this is working, friends. Let's see here. Well, I'm gonna Uh-oh. Okay, it's not coming through. Hey there.
There you go. You got it.
No, I can't find the stream. I did something bizarre and I don't know what.
What do you mean? What do you lost?
My conference.
Oh, the tab?
Yeah.
Boy, you got to open it back up.
Where do I go?
Where did you go to find it originally?
I don't know. Oh, look at that. Maybe I'll go off of Levi.
And set the bell notification to all. If you currently are not getting my notifications, please turn the bell setting to none and
Now, you
turn
got to
back
be careful
on
on that
all.
because they can
Please also
copyright
share this.
on that.
Let's get
Let
into
me
it.
ask him. Can you see that?
I'm not on the screen. I know. Can't see anything. I hear it though.
Wait up, I've been working hard every day, living dreams for a pay stub. Yeah, straight up. 5 years later, like I said, I would make it on my way up. It's all up.
Okay. Levi's pretty good for letting me. Where did I get that?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you got to be careful because, like, they can strike you for using their stuff.
I sent him a message, so hopefully.
Let's see
Hopefully.
here.
Now, I thought it was the Fruitland PD, but it didn't look like it.
No, I couldn't find it. I looked last night and early this morning both, and I couldn't find it. I'm not sure where it's going to be held at. Let me check their Facebook page again. They might have updated it.
There we go. This is it here.
Nope, it's not on their Facebook page.
I think I got it. Oh, it's back to Levi.
Welcome to my channel, Level Headed with Levi D. Please hit the
No. Mm-hmm. Boy.
Let's see here. I'm not seeing a new press conference.
I'm seeing it. It's supposed to be starting like 5 minutes ago. And I had a timer on, and then I pushed something wrong.
Right. It happens.
Well, at least no one's here. So, share. What the hell did I do? Because everything's gone from the top.
Hold on. I think I might. Where's that?
My word.
Okay.
Try Levi.
They're not covering it on the news station out of Boise. So let's see what else. Let's see.
Okay, let me try this.
That's the press conference from August 4th. That's not the right one.
Level-headed.
That's from last year. I don't know. I couldn't find it either. So I have no idea where it is.
I might have.
And welcome to the Sunday News at 10. I'm Doug Petcash. Wednesday will mark 1 year since the community of Fruitland's world was shaken when a young boy named Michael Vaughn went missing. Michael, who turned 6 years old last month, has not been seen since. Information on the case has been limited, but police, the public, and the family remain strongly determined to find him. In an interview you'll see only on 7, KTVB reporter Tristan and welcome to the Sunday News at 10. I'm reporter Alexandra Duggan. Wednesday will mark 1 year since Randy Neal and Tyler Vaughan world was shaken. They share what this last year has been like and recount the night Michael went. Michael, who turned 6 years old last month, has not
nearly a year later.
Information on the case has been limited, but police, the public, and the family remain strongly determined to find him. In an interview you'll see only on 7, KTVB reporter Tristan Lewis and KTVB digital reporter
Can you see
Alexander
that?
Duggan spoke with Michael's parents, Brandy Neal and Tyler.
No, you've not shared your screen.
Last year has been like
Okay,
and
share.
recount the night
You can
Michael
hear the audio, but we can't see the screen.
Nearly a year later.
It was very quick here.
You got to
And
hit
all here at the same time.
share screen at the bottom.
Where
Go to
is
the tab like I showed you, and
Can't be a
then
year. It
share
can't be.
that.
going through every day without him? Michael's parents, Brandy Neal and Tyler Vaughan, say is a struggle.
I don't want to get out of bed every day. But we do it.
Can you
We
see
do
that
it, and we try
okay?
to keep our stuff together
Yes, there you go.
and
That's from July.
just get through every day.
To get through the day-to-day, they use hope.
He's coming home.
Hope that Michael will be found.
Strength with law enforcement and our community members and our family. All of us standing strong. That none of us are going to stop. Not a single one of us will stop. Michael is going to come home.
Law enforcement continue to tell the public they are working around the clock to find this boy.
We haven't stopped. Every day we have unfinished business, and I'll tell you that every day is an anniversary of the disappearance from Michael
Yeah, this is the
Vaughn.
last one.
Michael went missing from his neighborhood on July 27, 2021. Investigators have narrowed down the time frame of his disappearance to between 6:40 to 7 p.m. that night.
Our investigation remains intense and strong.
That night, Brandy worked her shift at the local Albertsons
Ah,
grocery store.
okay. He said I
Tyler
could
was
share
with Michael
his.
and my kids, along with a daughter named Buggy.
Went back to change bug. Michael's playing on his switch.
Level-headed.
She was sleeping, so it took a minute for me to rouse her, and then I changed a diaper and ordered pizza.
And welcome to the Sunday News at 10. I'm Doug Petcash. Wednesday will mark 1 year since the community of Fruitland's world was shaken when a young boy named Michael Vaughn went missing. Michael, who turned 6 years old,
I'm not finding it, so I don't know where they're streaming it from.
Cases were limited, but police, the public, and the family remain strongly determined to find. In an interview you'll see only on 7, KTVB reporter Tristan Lewis and KTVB digital reporter Alexandra Duggan spoke with Michael's parents, Brandy Neal and Tyler Vaughan. They share what this last year has been like and recount the night Michael went missing.
Nearly a year later,
it was a very quick year and long year at the same time.
And the same question remains. Where is Michael Vaughn?
It can't be a year. It can't be.
Going through every day without him, Michael's parents, Brandy Neal and Tyler Vaughan, say is a struggle.
I don't want to get out of bed every day. But we do it. We do it, and we try to keep our stuff together.
Try.
And just get through every day.
To get through the day-to-day, they use hope.
He's coming home.
Hope that Michael will be found.
Strength with law enforcement and our community members and our family. All of us standing strong. That
Been through 4 months of
none
hell
of us are
with
going to stop. Not a single one of us will stop. Michael is going to come home.
Law enforcement continue to tell the public they are working around the clock to find the missing boy.
We haven't stopped. Every day we have unfinished business, and I'll tell you that every day is an anniversary of the disappearance from Michael Vaughn for us.
Michael went missing from his neighborhood on July 27, 2021. Investigators have narrowed down the time frame of the disappearance to between 6:40 to 7 p.m. that night.
Our investigation remains intense and strong.
That night, Brandy worked her shift at the local Albertsons grocery store.
Good Lord, Martha. You still hanging in there?
Yeah, we can just talk about it if you want to. I mean, what they're talking about is they've got 2 semi-trucks from an organization called Homeward Bound Program.
Okay.
And they have painted a mural on the side of these trucks that has Michael Vaughn's face and all his information on it.
Nice. Okay.
And they're adding them to their semi-truck fleet that's going to be trucking across country.
Okay. Nice.
So they're going to have 2 trucks out there that has Michael's information and his face on it.
Okay.
That are going to be going state to state, as they're doing their regular job, their regular deliveries for whatever company they work for.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're using that to help get Michael's name and information out everywhere.
Nice. Sounds like they might be making a little bit of headway.
I hope so. I hope that maybe getting his face out there is going to help. Because at this point, he could be anywhere. It's been a year, and
I know
they've got no indication that he's anywhere still there in the local area.
Yeah.
I do know they are still looking for the driver of that white Honda Pilot.
And that photo of that young guy.
The photo of the man they seen walking by the splash pad.
Yeah.
They still don't know who that is.
So that was right around the same time?
Yes. The guy that was walking around by the splash pad, if I remember correctly, he was down there at about 6:30, 6:40-ish.
So right in the right time.
Yeah, and that's right at the exact same time that Michael went missing.
Right. So we have no idea if that guy's associated with that car, that white car.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're not looking at them like as suspects. They just want to know, since they were in the area when Michael was outside and, was unaccounted for,
Right.
You know, if they possibly seen him, knew which way he walked, seen somebody stop and talk to him, anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah.
so far, those people have not came forward to say anything to law enforcement, which to me, I think is a little weird. I mean,
absolutely. And I was
didn't have anything to do with a kid going missing, then why not come forward and tell them either you seen something or you didn't? It's not hard.
Exactly. I was surprised when I read that there was people in that area that weren't allowing searches in their homes, or that's a little suspect all on its own. You know, if the whole town is opening up their home to have this, you know, basically the area cleared. And it's spooky. Anytime it's been this long, it kind of makes your stomach a little queasy.
It definitely does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mickey Techie, this is Michael Monkey Vaughn. He's been missing from Fruitland, Idaho since July of 2021.
Yeah. Yeah. July 27th, I think it was.
Let me double check. I believe somewhere, I get my dates mixed up. It was similar to the Summer Wells, 15th maybe, July 15th.
Yeah, it was close. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I don't really think that those cases are related in any way.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of wonder if they are, but I think there's a big enough distance. And I don't know, the preparation or well, just even the parents alone. I mean, there's such a big difference.
July 27th.
Okay. And he just had his 6th birthday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. He's adorable.
Yeah, Monkey Vaughn went missing July the 27th of 2021. He was 5 years old. He was last seen outside his house wearing a Minecraft t-shirt, black and green boxer briefs, and blue flip-flop tennis shoes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And he had gone to a few neighbors' houses looking for someone to play with, didn't he? And
yes,
I think 3 houses. And
yes, he went. The last house he went to was directly across the street from his house.
Okay.
And he wanted that lady's kids to come out and play, and she told him that she was, you know, fixing their dinner, that they couldn't come out, and that he needed, you know, to go back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from what I understand, she said that she stood on the porch and watched him as he crossed the street back into his yard.
Oh.
She thought he was headed towards his front door, so she turned and went back in the house to tend to the dinner she was cooking.
Yeah.
But Michael never made it back into the house.
Oh, but he was literally back in his yard for a few minutes.
He was in his front yard, heading in the direction toward his door.
Yeah. Okay. And don't they have, weren't they able to track his scent to the very corner of that block? And that's where it stopped?
Yes, the scent dogs did track him to the corner of the block he lives on, and then they lost him from there.
So that's a little spooky all on its own, isn't it?
Yes, Mackie Techie. He was in his underpants. Yeah. A t-shirt and his underwear, because he was supposed to be in the house sitting in his living room playing his Nintendo.
Right.
That's what he was doing when the dad last seen him.
Yeah.
He was in the living room playing with his Nintendo Switch. And the dad went to go wake up the little sister and get her diaper changed and get her ready to, you know, to eat supper. And when he came back out, Michael was gone.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take long. They said the front
that's
door was really
they can get away.
Yeah. They say the front door was really hard to open, so he probably went out through the garage.
Yes, that's what Brandy had said. She thought that most likely he had went out through the garage door.
Okay. Okay.
Because
yeah.
She didn't think he would be strong enough to be able to pull the front door open. You got to be pretty tough to get the front door open.
And she said it made noise as well that probably he would have caught on.
Yeah, yeah, definitely they would have heard him if he went out the front door.
So it's a small town they're in. He should have been very safe in his front yard and on his block.
Definitely.
And wasn't that splash park like 2 blocks away or something like that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And it doesn't sound like it doesn't take that long to change a diaper and order pizza. That happens pretty quick. But kids, when a friend of mine, when her youngin was about 3 years old, that little girl, all the deadbolts were up top on the doors, so she couldn't get at anything. Well, one night at about 3 a.m, she stacked all these stools up, unlocked the locks, and was out roaming the streets. People coming home from the bar found her in a back alley playing.
Right.
And yeah, her parents, I literally tried to catch that little girl one time, and she could beeline across that yard, climb over the fence, be in another, and just gone. It was totally amazing. And she wasn't very old. They can disappear very, very fast.
Yeah, Mackie, that's a question I have not got the answer to. If he was known to walk out of the house and, by himself. I haven't seen that question answered anywhere. I mean, that's one of the things I would like to know is, has he done this before? I mean, he's never been reported missing before, or, he's not been, if he's ever walked out of the house by himself, they've been right there on him and caught him pretty quick. But
yeah, but was he known? I don't know. Was he known to kind of bolt out of the house every once in a while to explore?
See, I don't know, but I do know that Brandy said that, in the afternoons, a lot of times they would walk all the kids down to the Crestview Park, which has the little, splash pad and things down there.
Yeah.
That they would walk the kids down there in the afternoons and let them play for a couple hours.
Right.
So I'm thinking possibly because it was afternoon, maybe he was thinking, okay, well, we go down here in the afternoons. He's in a hurry. He wants to go right then and that, maybe that was his thought process.
Yeah.
And he thought he was big enough to take himself down there. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah. And, like I think of my childhood, when I was grade 5 and 6 and stuff. And I was in a city and we would just disappear, straight to one of the parks that were in the area. So I don't think that's really uncommon, Kids.
Well, I mean, for a 5-year-old, it would be, they, I don't know. Well, I guess maybe, maybe every kid's different, but at 5, you would think he would be scared to be walking through the neighborhood by himself.
Well, except he's in a small town. So
yeah, I mean, that's true too.
Kind of gives a different vibe than the larger.
Plus, then again, he's 5,
5.
They're 5, so they really don't think that far ahead.
Exactly. And he didn't seem to be fearful.
Right.
Yeah. To me, it seemed that
share my screen down here. I'll show you this map.
Okay, how do I do that?
Click on it, hover over it, just like you did whenever you added me in here. Hover over it, and it should say add to screen.
Like share?
Yes.
Share screen? Share screen.
You should see it should be a box right down here beside of my picture on the bottom. Should be the bottom left of your screen. Do you see it?
Crime and Justice. Remove from.
No, don't remove me. Use the next box over. There it is.
Yay!
There it is. Good job. Yay! Okay. So this is Southwest 8th Street. This is the street that Michael Vaughn lives on.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure which of these houses is his.
Okay.
I believe it's this one. This one
That
right here,
makes sense.
908.
Yeah,
I
the
believe it's-
driveway and everything looks right.
Yeah, I believe it's that one. No, it's definitely not the red one.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, I believe it's one of these.
Okay.
But if you go down this street here, this way, this is where the park is. They always went to.
Okay. So there, I'm wondering, is there cut
That
across or
is-
something that he would use? You know how we would always just, so he might be able to get through those trees and straight to the.
I mean, it's a straight walk if he just goes right up this road, and right there's the path
Oh,
right there going right to it.
There you go. Wow. And that highway is too close.
But the last they picked up his scent, if I remember correctly, was in this area.
Okay. Okay.
Was right in here in this area around that intersection.
Gotcha. Okay. And isn't the
That was-
school fairly close as well?
Yeah, I don't know about the school. I don't know,
Okay.
honestly. But I know I know they searched all of this back in here.
And that's all
All of-
field. Okay.
These are all fields. There's an irrigation ditch that runs the pond there, an irrigation ditch that runs all around this place.
Okay.
There's the Snake River.
Oh
They
my.
They searched all of that.
Wow.
The only other option I can think of, other than him being picked up by somebody, is if he managed to get off in that river. If something happened and he fell in the river, but they would have found him by now. I firmly believe if he had fell off in that river and drowned, they would have found him by now.
Okay. Is it fast? Do we know that? Like, does it?
I don't know, but typically when a body, any body, goes in water like that,
Yeah.
yeah, the current's going to carry you downstream, but eventually they're going to surface.
Right. Stuff happens to the body that brings them to the top.
Yeah, usually most bodies that are in water like that within a couple of weeks at most, unless they get hung up on debris and tree limbs and things like that in the water.
Right.
They're going to pop to the surface and come out somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's been no indication that happened. I mean, the scent didn't even track him in that direction, so the chances of that happening would be very slim.
Okay. And did you say there was canals as well?
Yes.
How close are the canals?
If you look down in here,
okay,
as it comes off this pond, see the
right.
Usually this through here, if they get a lot of rain, will fill up with water.
Okay. And
I do know that they drained that.
Awesome.
They did drain that whenever they were searching for him.
Okay.
They drained the canals because they even go all back in here.
What scares me most is actually that highway.
That's what I was looking at too, how close it is.
Yeah.
To jump right back out of here and get on 30 and take off.
Oh, and I mean, look at how close it is to that splash park. Everything is kind of in that area if there was a predator.
Yeah.
Around. And sadly, a lot of them do understand that people are more relaxed in these small towns.
Right.
They've been there a while. I'm sure they know all of them. A good portion of them anyways. So what do you think? You've got really good radars when it comes to this. What do you think, he was abducted or an accident somewhere out there?
I think honestly at this point, I think either somebody was driving through there and saw an opportunity and they took him.
Yeah.
Or they really need to start looking into the RSOs that live in that neighborhood.
So they haven't really done that yet?
They've went and questioned them.
Mhm.
They've talked to them, and I know that according to Fruitland Police Department, they do have a few people that are persons of interest. They've
Okay.
not officially labeled them suspects, but they
Yep.
are people that they're looking at.
In this town?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder what the
I mean,
population is. Do you know for sure?
I don't, but I can look it up.
I'll see if I can.
Yeah, there are quite a few RSOs that live in his neighborhood. I'll look it up again just to make sure I'm correct, but I believe there's about 9.
Well, it says, I don't know when this was done, but 5,390.
Yeah, Fruitland is a small area.
It is. It really is. Wow. Wonder if there's any little stores where he could buy candy or anything along those lines anywhere around.
I don't think so. Not that I have seen.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Molly. They need to stop talking to people and start checking basements. I agree. Like the ones that are not cooperating, there's no reason to not cooperate when there's a young child missing.
Right.
That makes me a little uncomfortable as well. Yeah.
Definitely does.
Have they backed off the grandpa and what have you? Do you know?
They are not officially labeled as suspects. They are completely cooperating. So I don't think, honestly, they had anything to do with this.
Right. Yeah.
I know a lot of people, have been down that avenue and they're talking about that, They're blaming Tyler for not watching Michael, for, he should have been able to keep up with him and this and that. And I get it. People are frustrated. It's a kid missing and they want answers. They want somebody to be responsible, but I really feel like they're putting it in the wrong place there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine how heavy of a burden that is for him to have to deal with and live with every day, knowing that while he was watching his son disappeared.
It's mortifying. The guilt a person would feel. And honestly, you've got a couple kids that you literally have to take your eyes off them. And that's all he did. He didn't do anything wrong. But you don't have eyes in the back of your head. I mean, when you're dealing with one and you believe the other one's sitting on the couch where you left them, he didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Not in my mind.
No, I don't think so either.
No. And all the blame, social media really went after these guys, and it was bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a lot of the reason why Brandy doesn't really come on social media that much anymore.
Yeah.
She used to. She used to be, trying to get his information, and she still is. Don't get me wrong. She's still putting Michael's information out there.
Yeah.
It's just herself. She's not, doing the interviews with YouTubers and things like that like she used to.
I watched, I was on a live here a couple of days ago, and she was in the audience, and she was the one that actually told us the time and everything of this.
Yeah.
Today. But
she's been over on my channel a couple of times. She comes over there a lot, especially when we're talking about Michael.
Yeah, there's some really good content providers, and there's some really spooky ones. And sadly, it seems like they fall in with some scary creators versus ones that are actually here for the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that happens, but I mean, it does.
It does. Each case.
Hey, do you see where your chat is over on the side of your screen?
Yes.
If you click on one of those, watch what it does.
Okay. Oh, hey.
There you go.
Thanks, Molly. You guys are
there you go. That's how you put people's comments up on the screen to interact with people.
Oh, okay.
You click them. If you want to go to the next one, you just click the next one down.
Okay.
The next comment underneath it, and it'll pop the next one up.
Gotcha.
There you go.
I have to thank everybody who is watching for being patient.
Well, I mean, we all have to start somewhere. We all have to learn. It's not something we were born knowing. This technology changes every day, it seems. So
it really does. I mean, I started working with green screens. That's what I used.
right.
And I've kept up, but not all these different programs. They're so different. It's been a big learning curve, but I love it.
Radio Gods, good to see you. Glad you're here, Sissy. We miss you.
She's awesome.
She is. Radio Gods is great. That's our family right there. All these guys are our family. Glad y'all are all here. Thank y'all.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. So how do I'm putting at Radio Gods, and it's not coming up.
Oh, you're not. If you're in the StreamYard chat, you're not going to see it on your side, but it'll come up on their side.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
it would show up on my
trucks.
So yeah, that's awesome about these semis. It'd be nice if some more people can get on board with that.
Right, and I do know that they've been handing Michael's flyers out at every truck stop.
Awesome.
There's a lot of truck drivers that have, taped the flyers on their windshields and on the sides of their truck and things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But definitely, any coverage we can get from Michael, anything we can do like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking too, like in some of like your bigger cities, like your city buses, how they have like the advertisements and stuff on the side of the buses.
Yeah.
They should start putting missing people on those.
That's a great idea. Why did they stop with the milk jugs? Just because they've turned them into some form of plastic?
Well, I don't really know the reason why they quit putting the kids' faces on the milk cartons, but it could be because, that's scaring children. I mean, children are sitting there at school eating their breakfast and staring at a missing kid. I mean, that could be traumatizing for kids, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that that's the reason, but that was just my first thought as to why they didn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think anything like that, anything where they do the advertisements, like on the city buses, on the bus stop benches and things like that, they could dedicate even just a little corner of one to a missing kid, and change it every
even.
Exactly. Change it every 30 days if you need to, whatever, but as long as you're getting somebody's information out there.
That's right. And like Molly's saying, some of them need to be scared a little bit.
Definitely.
I was pretty lucky. I was grade 5 or 6 and in the city, and I got on the wrong bus. And I ended up, clear across the other side of the city, and oh my word, all over the place. But that bus driver, he was so good. Like, stay still, just stay still. We'll go back. And yeah, it was about an hour and a half bus ride. Seen lots of things, but without him, I mean, I probably would have just got off somewhere random. And we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have pagers. We had street lights.
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
I guess I'm lucky to have grown up out here where I'm at in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have to worry about stuff like that.
Oh, the stuff that I seen.
Because,
I bet you
pretty much everybody, I mean, our population is like 1,000 people.
Nice.
And you either are related to half of them, you went to school with the other half of them, or they've known you since you were in diapers.
Right.
So,
your parents know parents and
Exactly. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is very rare that we get, somebody that moves in here that is not related to anybody and that nobody's ever seen before.
Oh, that's wild. That's nice.
That is the good thing.
We've had the little town I'm in is probably about 1,000 as well. The area that I'm in, there's a grand total about 8,000 people in about maybe 7 towns. There's lots.
Right.
Same thing. Population is pretty low. The worst, well, we did have one couple. It was a murder-suicide last year, a domestic. But other than that, since we've been here, the only thing that we've heard of, we were listening to a scanner, and right around Christmas, New Year's, there's some guy buck naked running around Main Street and what have you. And that's been about the most excitement.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. There's
Right.
not like the cities.
Well, we had a guy here, it's been a few months back, that he was actually from Louisiana.
Okay.
And he murdered his girlfriend in Louisiana. And for some reason, I don't know how in the world he ended up here. But when he got pulled over by one of our police officers, he shot our police officer and tried to kill him. And he took off. He was on the run through here for about 36 hours before they caught him.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. That happened probably about a half a mile from my house. That was that was the first time that we've ever actually, been like, okay, lock your doors, do not go out. They even called us. The sheriff's department called everybody in the county and told us, lock your doors, stay in your house. If you see something, give us a call. We'll come check it out. If you have to go out somewhere, give us a call. We'll have an officer come and escort you and all that stuff. So.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Hey, that's amazing.
They do that around here because, like I said, everybody's kin to everybody. I mean,
right? Yeah, you bet. You bet.
We're all family. Even police officers, doctors, everybody. We're all family around here. So
that's
we
pretty
have to look out for each other.
That's pretty neat. I stay pretty quiet, pretty much to myself out here. I take advantage of the waterfalls and the lakes and what have you. And just because of life, the way, I stick to myself pretty much, and I'm in my glory. I'm in my glory.
I like being. I don't like the particular place I'm living in right now, but I like this county. It's a nice county, but
nice.
I just don't like I don't like the apartment that I'm living in. I'd rather be a little bit further out away from people, but
okay.
I'm getting used to it. I mean,
yeah, and you've got family right there as well, so that's nice.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
I moved as far away from family as I possibly could.
Oh, believe me, I did that too for years. I did it for years. It wasn't by my choice that I came back. It was out of necessity. So,
right. Well, it sounds like a beautiful area.
It is. It is. I'm just not used to being what I'm saying. I'm not used to having neighbors this close.
Right.
I'm used to being out in the middle of nowhere where I can pretty much do whatever I want, and it's perfectly okay. But
yeah, that is.
You get used to it.
That's my choice as well. Living out, we have nothing behind us. Just little ways you do, but we back up to a creek and a waterfall. So I really enjoy that.
Right.
It's not too hard of a walk, so me and my fibro are able to deal with it. How do I get so I don't have like that big white thing for me? How do I get my?
Oh, you've got to upload a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, when we end the stream, I'll show you how to do that because I don't think you can do it. Well, hang on, you might be able to do it while you're on there.
Hi, Petals. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming over.
Go to your, do you see your little box on the bottom left, on the bottom of your screen?
The bottom left on the bottom of my screen.
Does it have one that shows you in it?
No.
Okay,
No.
go to settings.
Settings.
See if it's in there. It may be in there
Okay.
on your. If not, we'll have to do it after. Do you see
audio?
Do you see something that says edit audio avatar?
Avatars. It's checked off.
Yeah. Do you see something that says edit avatar?
Not edit. No.
Okay, so we'll have to do it whenever the stream ends. I'll show you where it's at. It's back on the main page then.
Okay.
There's a way for you to do it from there, but I don't remember what it. I'm trying to remember what it looks like on, because it doesn't look the same on my screen as it is on yours right now.
Right. That's what you were saying.
So that's what I'm trying to remember what it looks like to be over there, and I can't remember right now, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, for sure. Thank you very much for joining me. I would have been all over the place.
Oh, not a problem. Okay, that's not what I was thinking. How about you stop that?
Thank you, Puddles.
I was trying to find this missing poster, and it's coming up with everything but. Please get that off my screen. That is not what I was looking for, folks.
Yeah. Radio Gods is saying Florida. Except I don't know what that rain would do to they get a lot of rain. It's not a bad rain, but I don't know like with the fibro, I don't know what that would do, so I don't know what it would do to Arthur.
Right. Share that screen. I've got Michael's missing poster for us.
Okay. I'm learning.
There you go.
Thank you again. Oh, he's such a beautiful boy.
Michael Joseph Vaughan, 5 years old, last seen in Fruitland, Idaho on July 27, 2021. He was on foot near his home between 6:30 and 7:15 p.m. Michael is approximately 3'7" tall, 50 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a blue Minecraft shirt, black boxer briefs, and sandals. And that's Piatt County Sheriff's Office at 208-642-6006.
Okay. Edit audio avatar. Solo layout. Now I can't get my face back.
Oh no.
I thought it just. Oh. Okay then. Oh, camera. I got it.
There you go. You got it. There you go. He is a sweet boy.
Absolutely. I
don't see how anybody can hurt children. I don't. I mean, then again, I don't know how people hurt anybody. I mean, I don't think I would never have it in me. I don't think I could.
Nope. No.
I don't even if somebody maybe if somebody was trying to kill me, then maybe. You know, if it's me or them, or if or if they're trying to hurt my kid, then I could see something happening. But
something really bad would happen if someone went after my child, guaranteed. I would
for somebody to just be walking around and decide, hey, look, I think I'll take that kid home with me today. No,
right?
Like no, how do you do that?
I don't understand, and especially. I mean, if they're taking them for harm, like you hear some people out there that take children because they've lost children.
Right.
And I think that's kind of an illness. I don't.
It is. I mean, it is. It's.
Yeah, I think that's an illness. And people that take them to harm them, that's a totally separate kind of illness.
Yeah, that is.
And sadly, I mean, hopefully we can get this little boy home, but sadly these offenders, it seems like they've got massive records, and it's usually the same type of thing. I don't know why they don't just cancel out all the potheads. I mean, in the states that it's legal, make some space in their jails and put away these kind of people, you know? As soon as they made it legal, I don't think they should be in jail. You know, I mean, unless they're selling to kids or something, but yeah.
Let's see if they got here. They might have a. I thought somebody might have at least have a picture of those trucks, but I'm not seeing it.
Let's see.
I'm not seeing one. There's his nameless. There his NC file. That's another one. He's not listed on nameless either.
How do they get away with that?
They don't have him in the database because it's not a law that says they have to do it. It's an option. Oh, here we go. There is the picture of the guy that was seen walking near the splash pad.
Yeah.
When Michael went missing.
You bet.
Not very good pictures. I mean, they're really blurred, but
you know what?
It's enough for whoever that is. They know. They know they're looking for him.
Yeah, and it's recognizable to somebody who knows him.
Right.
I have a picture of one of my family members, and just the way they stand, the way they move, the way they walk, the way they dress, you can usually recognize someone who's close to you.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. And with the community being that small, somebody knows who that guy is.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's no way he doesn't know by now that the police are wanting to talk to him.
Exactly.
That's just like with that white Honda Pilot. You know, the Fruitland Police Department, they know who that person is.
Oh, do they?
They know who owns that vehicle, but that person is refusing to talk to them.
Oh, okay. So we don't know if that could possibly be this guy?
I don't think it's the same guy. I think this is two different people.
Okay.
But yeah, Fruitland Police Department is confident they know who that vehicle belongs to, but that person is refusing to cooperate and talk to them.
Okay. Well, hopefully,
yeah, I can't really tell if that's like a jersey or if it's just a white. It looks like a white sleeveless T-shirt to me.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know what they call them now. We used to call them wife beaters.
Right. I mean, it just looks like a plain white shirt.
Yeah, with maybe something on the back right there.
That's what I was. Yeah, I can't tell if that's like a shadow or if there's actually something. Because see, if you look at it from that angle, it looks different.
It does.
So I'm thinking maybe that's just like a shadow.
Okay.
Possibly. I mean, it could possibly be just a shadow. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I wish there was actually a way, and I've tried to like clean those up and get them more clear, and they're not. That's the best you're going to get with that.
Look at that adorable little guy. Unreal.
I know. It's so sad that it's been this long and we have no answers.
Yeah.
You know, I was really, really hoping that.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
I was honestly hoping that before his next birthday came up, we would have something. But oh, that's a cute. I don't know who made that picture, but that is adorable.
It is adorable. Yeah. He's just his little face, like he's just a beautiful little boy. Hi, Hunter.
You feeling better? You feeling better? You're hungry. Okay. Well, then you must be getting better. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, the T-shirt sleeves do look cut off, Molly Drake.
Yeah, I mean,
looks like
it's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell with it being that blurry. I mean,
yeah,
I'm wondering, like, you know, with all the technology today, somebody surely has a program that would be able to clean that up some and make it more clear. But
Right.
I mean, if that's the best picture that they've got, then we got to go with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So almost makes me wonder though if he's on more of those Ring doorbells.
Right. I mean, that's what I was wondering. If he's walking in that area, there's more than just one camera that picked him up.
Exactly what I'm thinking. Yes.
Maybe. And I don't know if that was somebody's like home camera, or maybe they got cameras around the park. Maybe it was that could have been taken from one of the cameras that are around the park, if there is any. There should be.
There should be. If there wasn't, there should be now.
Right.
Oh, right. Radio gods. Sadly, in some states, you can get more time in prison for growing cannabis than you can for essaying a child. You see?
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that adorable?
Oh, you can hear his voice.
I'm gonna pause it because they're.
I like looking at the moon.
Look at him. Oh. It's so cute.
Oh, he's just beautiful. His little sister's a beauty as well.
Right. Yeah, you got to be careful if you play things like that. If it's got music playing,
okay,
they can copyright you for. I mean, it doesn't mean it's okay right now because your channel is not monetized or anything.
Right. Okay.
But once you do get it up enough subs and watch hours for it to be monetized, you got to be careful with that.
Okay.
Because they will strike you for that if you're playing somebody else's music on a video.
So
that's why I kept pausing it. It's a habit. I'm usually like, but
it's the pausing it at music and then you just get out of there and look for something else, basically.
I mean, you can. It's not the video itself. It's the audio. So as long as you keep it muted, you can play it. But I wanted people to hear little Michael's voice.
Well, yeah. So what about in the case where Radio Gods said, use what you want of mine? So say I wanted to put something up. If there's music in that, do I still mute it? Is it still a copyright issue, even if you've got approval from?
No, if it's another content creators, unless they strike you themselves, you should be good.
Good. And what if they have music that's on there that shouldn't be? Will I get struck as well for that?
Yes, if it's copyrighted music, you'll still get in trouble.
It would get strike.
Yeah.
Strike. More jail time on meth charges than murder charges.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It's probably all those meth dudes that are doing the murdering. I don't know. That particular drug scares me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they basically searched all the waterways that are around there. There's not really that much further they can go with that.
No, right. As of right now, they've searched everything. Okay, here's a good picture.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
That is the white Honda Pilot that they were looking for.
And isn't that right in front of their house?
Well, they're driving down the street, so I don't know. Like,
I haven't seen this picture of it.
From what I was told by Fruitland Police Department, I called them a few months back about this because people were saying, "Oh, the white Honda Pilot's no longer relevant. We don't need to be looking for it anymore. They've moved on."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, that's not what they're putting out on the Fruitland Police Department Facebook, so let me call them and double check. Maybe something has changed and they haven't updated it. But
Yeah.
from what they told me, they are confident they know who that vehicle belongs to, but they're still putting it out there because the owner of that vehicle, the driver of that vehicle, has still not came forward to talk to them.
Oh my goodness. And like I said, that's not too suspect at all.
Yeah, that tells me that whoever that vehicle belongs to, even if they didn't have anything to do with Michael going missing, they're probably not coming forward for other reasons. There's probably something else that they've done or that they are doing that they're afraid they're going to get caught on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which,
so
I mean,
is this
at this
a
point,
local, like right in town?
They didn't specifically say. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they really didn't specifically say if that's, you know, somebody that I would assume so. If they know who it is,
Yeah. Okay.
then I would assume that that's somebody there local, maybe even somebody in the neighborhood, possibly.
Mm-hmm. There's just no reason to not allow law enforcement to look. I mean, if there is a missing kid, I would just open up my doors, go through whatever you want. I can't imagine saying no.
Exactly. I don't understand. Like, sometimes I wish they didn't have, you know what I'm saying? I wish they didn't have to go get search warrants. Not when it comes to a missing kid.
Yeah.
It should be a law that you don't have a choice.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If there's a kid missing from your neighborhood, you're gonna let search and people come on your property and look.
Yeah, you bet. You bet.
I mean, but sadly, there, you know, that's the whole, you know, people's rights are protected on that, and you've got a right to tell them, hey, without a warrant, you're not stepping foot on my property.
Right.
You know, you're within your rights to tell them that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And a good point that Tyler was making too in that last interview that him and Brandy did. He's talking about the difficulty they're having with the RSOs in the neighborhood.
Oh.
They are having to get search warrants to go search their properties. I don't think you should have to. I think that should be a stipulation of them being released.
Absolutely. They shouldn't
The
be
stipulation of release should be that if you are an RSO and a kid goes missing from your neighborhood, especially if you're an offender against children.
Absolutely.
It should be automatic. Your home is getting searched. You don't have a choice to get over it.
I agree. But
and no, they're having to go provide probable cause to a judge and get search warrants to go onto these people's property.
Well, you'd think missing child sex offender, that's reasonable cause. Like, in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure it is. I'm sure, you know, it's not a matter of a judge saying you don't got enough, you know, evidence to, you know, to do this.
Right.
It's just look how long it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. And
look how long it takes, you know, to get that paperwork done, and then to get a schedule a time when the judge is free for you to go in front of the judge, and all, you know.
Right.
The hours that it takes to do that, they could be out there searching.
Exactly.
Instead of having to be in a judge's chambers trying to hash it out.
Oh, I agree. And you know, this Amber Alert, we've got the Amber Alert here in Canada as well, and it's pretty much the same as the US. It doesn't, in my mind, get used properly. I just think missing child, Amber Alert. Just because someone cannot verify that someone snapped them into a vehicle, if they're gone, someone might have snapped. I think that's enough.
Right. I mean, see, that was the thing with Michael Vaughn. You know, his family, Brandy and Tyler, they wanted an Amber Alert for Michael.
Exactly.
And they couldn't get one because legally, in the requirements for an Amber Alert, it was more than 12 hours had passed since they saw this white vehicle.
Okay. And that's their reasoning? Are we here? Are you
I'm
there?
there.
Hello,
My internet's cutting out.
CJ.
But yeah, I mean, it has to be, the Amber Alert has to be issued in the state of Idaho. It has to be issued within 12 hours.
Okay. There's so many rules, like so many
Yeah.
prerequisites. So
Yeah, and they were wanting to use this white Honda Pilot as the catalyst to issue that Amber Alert.
right?
But because it took longer than 12 hours to secure the video footage from all the neighbors
Are you
and for them to catch this vehicle, then they said, no Amber Alert. It's been more than 12 hours.
Oh,
You don't,
that's ridiculous.
you don't have a description of a suspect. All you've got is this vehicle. So no.
Oh my word.
That's why they had to. That's why they had to petition for the endangered alert, which is named, for Michael now. They did get that passed.
Exactly. But
they did finally get that passed for the endangered child alert.
So I was told, maybe you know more about this than I do, that did not apply for Michael's case because they did not go back and make it retroactive. So even though they fought for this new law, it's going to help people now in the future, but it doesn't help Michael.
No, it's going to help other kids in the future. It's not at this point. It's too late to put any kind of alert like that out for Michael, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
The time it took them to kind of hash all that out and figure it out, it's too late. But
yeah,
at least it is there now to help other kids in the future. So
that's right. That's right. So now that's not federal, that's state to state. Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, each state has their own set of rules for Amber Alerts.
Yeah.
Every state has a different set of criteria of what meets the requirements for an Amber Alert.
Isn't that something? So basically, I wonder if that has not necessarily the Amber Alert part of it, but look at all the trouble with that Dylan Rounds case with having the two states the two states side by side. It seems
the two different counties and states. Yeah, it does. It does run into some issues. I mean, I personally think that all law enforcement everywhere should be able to cooperate and work together when it comes to, crimes and things like that. But a lot of times you see there's like this competition going on,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's really what it is. Sadly, that's what it comes down to in Dylan's case. I think it's that Box Elder County does not want to admit that they are not equipped to handle it.
Yeah.
They do not want to admit defeat on this one.
Yeah.
That's why they're not turning it over to the FBI, and they're battling to not turn it over to the state police.
Yeah.
It's because they want that pat on the back, they want that recognition for, hey, we're going to solve this, and I just don't think
they're not doing a very good job.
No, they failed that family on so many levels. It's not even
Absolutely
not even imaginable. It's just.
I was so shocked when I watched that interview with Candace and Justin. And yeah. When I found out that they had not even spoke to them in 2 months.
I know. They're not keeping them updated on anything.
On anything.
No.
And, I mean, I don't think I agree with that. There's a lot of things I know that they cannot pass on, but at the same time, just kind of touch base and say, we're still looking. This is what we're doing. I mean, there's like searches. I'm sure they can't get a hold of them and do things like that. But there are just touch base. I think that's all a family would really want.
Right. And I was actually surprised that they did not offer them a victim advocate.
Yes, isn't
They
that
did not connect them to any victim advocate whatsoever.
isn't that yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Every single case that I've been involved in, honestly, the cops seem to make a lot of mistakes that jeopardize these cases.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
It's sad. I mean, they need to. They've really got to start doing better. I mean,
they do.
there's no excuse for it at this point.
And same with not necessarily with Monkey's case, but CPS, is that what you call it in the US?
Yeah,
Okay, they've been failing so many families that
they have, and sadly, that whole situation is just getting worse. It seems worse every week.
it does. Everything that comes up is, well, it's disturbing because they're really not doing much.
It is. I mean, it's terrible whenever kids that are involved in the CPS system can go missing and be missing for a year, 2 years,
Well, what's
and people not even know. People not even realize it. Yeah, Harmony was missing for almost 2 years.
and Lena,
Nothing.
she's been a while yet.
Yeah, that's another case that really is not getting a lot of attention. There's nothing really being put out about her anymore.
No,
The
no.
little girl from Texas.
Which one is that?
Is it this not who you're talking about?
Is she from Texas, Lena?
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe
okay.
so.
Okay.
She's not. She's the little girl that was last seen playing on the apartment complex playground.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom went inside for just a couple of minutes to do something, and when she came back out, she was gone.
Wow.
Yeah, and nobody's seen her. Nobody knows anything about her.
Isn't that something? And it seems that they're not making a big effort to improve the situations. You
No,
know,
they're really not.
even Oakley.
Yeah. I've got some information on that one. I'm gonna put that together. I may go on and do that either later tonight or early in the morning one.
Okay, I'll be
But
waiting.
there's a little bit of stuff starting to hopefully get the ball rolling on her. She's definitely getting a little bit more news coverage, so that's good.
Yes. Oh, and such a beautiful little baby.
She never should have been given back to her parents. I don't care what people say. She should not have.
No.
She should have never went back to her parents. Just like Harmony. Harmony should have went to
With her brother.
the parents that are raising her brother.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no reason why they would have give that little girl to a career criminal. I don't understand that.
Exactly. And violent. Like,
Exactly. He's had a violent criminal history since he was 16 years old.
since 16.
Yes.
Oh,
When he was 16 years old, he stabbed another kid in the leg and pushed him out of a moving car.
oh my God.
Yeah. He's also a suspect in a murder from 2008 out of Massachusetts that they can't prove he did it, but they know he did it.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
So, like something that's gang related, or
No, his thing is drug deals.
okay,
It was a drug related thing.
gotcha. Okay.
Just like in, I believe it was 2013, 2014, I want to say, that he shot a guy in the face during a drug deal.
Oh my goodness.
And he spent time in prison for that one.
So, what would make law enforcement think that it's a great idea to have a child around these people?
Well, say, I mean, that's what I don't understand. I don't understand how CPS thinks that's okay. I get, I understand that they want family reunification. They want these kids to stay with a parent.
Yeah.
But that's not always their best option.
It honestly is not. I mean, I think they're, thinking about, is it Harmony with the brother?
Yes.
Yeah. That relationship is probably as important, if not more important, than having her placed with parents that are not mentally healthy. So, yeah, these cases, I just don't know what to think of them. We'll see you later, Petals. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Petals. Good to see you.
You betcha. See you in the next one later on today.
I'm just really hoping that, like I said, I'm hoping that with them putting Michael's face on these trucks,
yeah,
I'm hoping that that's going to get something moving for him.
Yeah.
If this is I don't know, like, I'm guessing that they're thinking, I guess there's always that possibility that it could be a trafficking thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're thinking, that putting his face out all over the country, that could possibly help if it was that kind of situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that it is, but I mean,
well, it can't be eliminated yet.
At this point, it can't hurt. It cannot hurt to have his face out there everywhere.
I agree. And it would be nice, I mean, if more of these companies would kind of jump onto that bandwagon. They can afford to, these big companies, they can afford to do a couple of their trucks and have them re-stenciled.
Right.
And even if out of a fleet, even if they do a couple of them, it's all the help in the world, really. You get these long haul truckers, they're all over the place. And
yeah, I mean, that's the absolutely the best way, I think, to get people's faces out there.
I agree with you. I agree. I mean, they will advertise McDonald's French fries.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, they'll put things on the side of, like I said, city buses whenever people are running for like city council or mayor or something like that. Well, if you live in that town, you already know who's running. You don't need their face plastered on the side of a bus. You could use that for a missing person.
Absolutely. Exactly. I'd like to see them do the same kind of thing for the Delphi girls.
Right.
Not looking for them, but I'm sure there's a way that they can make it where people know that they're still looking for a suspect, Yeah. Or do you think that maybe one of them in jail is possibly... What do you think about that? I think Keegan's bad.
I think he is. He is a horrible, disgusting excuse for a human being.
Yep.
But I'm not convinced that he would be able to pull off killing these two girls like that.
Well, I'm almost wondering
I think it's possible that. Yeah, I'm wondering maybe his father could be somewhat involved, or is it just that the two of them were sharing out all their little disgust and nastiness with random people, and the wrong person got and somebody got a hold of it like that?
Yeah. Well,
it could be somebody that he's connected to.
Absolutely. Keegan was saying in one interview that I watched that his dad, Tony, did have access and would also use these platforms with these young girls. So
yeah, that's what Keegan said. But I mean, again,
exactly.
He's a criminal. You got to take everything they say with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it's very true.
And he is, from the last interviews I have read and seen with him,
Mhm.
He's really mad at his father right now because his father's pretty much disowned him. He's no longer sending him money for his books while he's in jail. He's not coming to visit him or anything like that.
Oh.
So Keegan is, he's pretty upset with Daddy. So
Might be throwing him under the bus.
So yeah, I think I think he's kind of talking a lot of trash, trying to bring some trouble,
that way.
way, because he's not getting the support he feels like he should have.
Okay.
That's kind of how I think about that. But
he was the last person to talk to Libby, which is interesting. And then he had her clean her phone out of that app and get rid of all of that. But it doesn't sound like Keegan did the same thing.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he is actually the person that killed Abby and Libby, but I think he might know who did.
So what
even if he doesn't realize he knows them, because he had at least 3 Dropbox accounts that he was sharing information about these underage girls with other people.
Okay.
So if you're sharing that kind of information out with your fellow sickos, you don't know at that point what they are going to do with that information.
It's very true.
And I'm not talking about just pictures. I'm talking about names, addresses, the whole 9 that he was potentially sharing with these other people.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that opens up a whole bunch of people, doesn't it now?
Yeah, if you share information like that out with other people and be like, hey, well, I talked to this girl and she said they're going to be at such and such place at this time. Well,
exactly.
At that point, whoever is part of that conversation can show up and do something.
Yeah, very well said. And
I did find it weird. There was one girl that I guess he had been talking back and forth with, and she told him, all right, my parents aren't home. I live at blah, blah, blah. She gave the address.
Mm-hmm.
That very same day, it was about maybe an hour later, there was somebody outside her house in a ski mask staring into her bedroom window.
Oh my God. Terrifying. Did they catch him?
No.
Oh.
But Keegan Klein is the person she had that conversation with, telling him that she was home by herself.
And he just put that out there.
So either he put that out there for other people, or it was him that showed up at her house.
Yeah.
He swears up and down it wasn't him, that he was nowhere near there. But I'm like, that's kind of weird.
That's very weird.
Yeah,
that's very weird. And there's one girl that
oh, thank you, Molly. I'll check that.
There's one girl that knows Keegan, and she said that down the hill sounded exactly like Keegan. I found that interesting as well. That landowner that the girl's bodies, I can't remember his name. I'm leaning towards Don again. But that landowner, he was pretty suspect as well in that case.
Yeah, but I don't think he had anything to do with that.
Okay.
I really don't. I think the way he made himself look guilty is because he was trying to cover up the fact that he was driving around without a license when he was already on probation for that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So I think that's why he was kind of, trying to get his, what was it? Was it a cousin? It was some, I can't remember now without looking at my notes. I believe it was a cousin that he was trying to get to, I guess, give him an alibi and be like, hey, tell him that you drove me to this such and such store and yada, yada, yada. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's right. I remember that being a relative.
Yeah, but then, everybody's like, okay, well, he's lying. That makes him suspect. And it does. It makes him look bad.
But like you said, he didn't have a license, so.
But I think that's the only thing he was covering for, is the fact that he was driving without a license. He was already on probation, and he didn't want to go back to jail.
Fair enough. Yep, fair enough. And, there's some things that I've heard about him, and a lot of it doesn't really apply.
Right.
Like, I haven't, maybe you have, I haven't heard anything about him being a pedo. Have you?
No, I haven't. No.
No. So it wouldn't be like, because I was wondering with Keegan and his sick brain before he died, if he was one of the people that he was sending stuff to in these drop boxes. But I haven't heard anything about that type of behavior with him. I heard that he's got a little bit of an attitude. He can be cranky.
Right.
But I haven't heard anything about him messing with kids.
No, like, and I don't think he would be able to pull something like that off either.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean.
So do you think it's someone that knew that area?
Oh, it had to be.
Yeah, I think
it had to be somebody that's very familiar with that area and the ins and outs.
Yeah. Yeah. And to get from the other side of the High Bridge to get down and know exactly where to cross that river to get to the other side.
Right.
He seemed to know that land down there. So I don't know if it would be a fisherman or I'm not sure. But they sure seem to know how to get to that secluded spot.
Right. I mean, and I'm honestly, and although a lot of people don't agree with me, but I almost believe that Lyric and Elizabeth Collins murders are connected possibly to the same person that did the Delphi murders.
I'm not familiar with that case.
I mean, to me, I think it's totally possible that they're connected.
So is that a couple more kids that were attacked, that case, or?
Lyric and Elizabeth were 10 and 8 years old in Evansdale, Iowa. And they were murdered on July the 13th of, 2012.
Wow.
They were two kids that were out riding their bikes. They were last seen at a park area, and then they were found a couple months later ditched in the woods at another national park area, way out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you remember in the Delphi case, there was the sighting of the white SUV that was parked up the street at the abandoned building.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was sightings of a white SUV parked in a neighborhood, off of a neighborhood in the same area where Lyric and Elizabeth's bicycles were found and where they were taken from.
Oh, wow, eh?
Lyric and Elizabeth were also found in close proximity to water, just like the Delphi daughters.
Okay. Because there was that one vehicle that was up by I think it was a cemetery. And they're wondering if someone didn't get the girls, get back onto the other side and then sneak up through the bush and get right to that cemetery and leave.
Right.
So
yeah, Lyric and Elizabeth were murdered in July. Their bodies weren't found until December.
Oh, that is so sad.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and there's actually, I think I did a show over on my channel. I'd have to go back. We may actually pull that one out and kind of review it one of these days, because there's a lot of similarities between the two.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see it. And that would now, if you're going back to 2012, that kind of eliminates Keegan, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So were these girls also talking to someone on any kind of platform?
Not that I have been able to find.
Okay. So again, it makes you wonder, like, I mean, if they've got a gun. Now, what I heard about the Delphi girls is that the weapon was a knife.
Yeah, that I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on. I have heard that too, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, they're
'Cause
keeping
we don't
that.
have anything official.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Do you know of Laura Hobbs and Crystal Tobias? Laura's father sat in prison for years until they actually caught the guy, who was a teenager at the time of the girls' murders and a serial killer. I have not heard of that case. That's sad.
No, I haven't heard of that one either. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Oh, look here. I did find my notes. I knew my notes
Nice.
were here somewhere.
Mine are in my file cabinet.
Right. I don't know, like I don't know if you believe in like the whole, like, I guess, coincidence thing with numbers, like the whole the numbers thing. But if you look at it, the Delphi daughters were murdered on February 13th, 2017.
Yep.
Which is 2/13/2017. Lyric and Elizabeth were murdered on July 13th, 2012. If you flip that date backwards for Lyric and Elizabeth, it is 2/13/2017.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. I don't think. Wow. The thing
And
is,
they're both right at from 2012 to 2017, 5 years apart.
Oh my word.
Patterns.
There are people out there.
Patterns. I mean, I don't necessarily, like 100% believe it has, that it may mean nothing.
Right.
But that jumped out at me whenever I was actually researching that and I seen those dates.
Right.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, that's weird. That's weird that both dates would be the same, if, frontward and backward like that. And that they're both 2012, 2017, they're 5 years apart.
Yes. Isn't that something?
So if this is one of those serial killer patterns of every 5 years, there'll be another one this year.
Oh.
So I mean, but I've not heard of any double homicides of children this year. So far we're that theory is not holding water. So we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that doesn't happen.
Right? Yeah. Because there are people out there that are big on the numbers, that are a little deranged,
right,
and will follow these patterns.
Right. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily think it, it may mean nothing.
But it's interesting.
It was definitely interesting, and it jumped out at me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because for some reason, like, I can forget 90% of everything else, but dates and numbers stick in my head. So,
you're good with your dates and numbers.
Dates and numbers are something that's easy for me to remember.
I've got
I just thought that was kind of interesting.
I really think it is, though. I mean, I hope nothing happens this year, but if something does, it sure does make that pattern look a little bit more on point.
Right. It definitely would. I mean,
I'm interested.
I'm hoping we're wrong, but
Yeah. And the Delphi girls, they were so close to home. They were in probably one of the safest spots they could be in, realistically.
Right.
And it turned into a nightmare. And that area is beautiful. And when you're in these small towns and you're a young person or teenager, the fact that they're walking trails instead of buying booze and drugs, I mean, they were as safe as they could be.
Right.
You know, there
Now,
was
with the talking about that white SUV, there were 3 witnesses that saw this white older model SUV parked on the street directly behind where the playground area was that Lyric and Elizabeth were going to.
okay.
He had it backed up into a. I even looked it up on Google Maps. It's like a what do you call it? Like a maintenance thing for the park.
Okay.
There's a because that park has a like a pond there.
Okay.
And there's like a maintenance shed for the park that's on the back street behind the park. The SUV was backed up beside of that maintenance shed.
Oh, so he was tucked in, hiding.
And where the girls were found was on the other side from that maintenance shed. There's a little side piece that goes up to a gate.
Okay.
That fences it off. That's where their bikes were found.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like whoever done this hemmed them up toward that gate to where they couldn't get away.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing that happened to the Delphi daughters.
Yes. Yeah.
When they got caught at the end of that bridge, there was that gate there. They could not run any further.
No, they were cornered.
This person cornered them and hemmed them up at that gate and was able to get them, was able to snatch them.
Wow.
And that's the same thing this guy did to Lyric and Elizabeth.
Exactly. I would, if you do it, I would love to, I'd love to learn about that case.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull that video back out and we'll definitely review that one.
Review it. I think it's very important to refresh everybody on these cases. People forget things. They miss things. I know I have to watch something a few times over, and I'm still catching things that I missed. I'm busy with my notes and go through it again. It's like, how did I miss that? But there's so much information, and you have to kind of be careful because you need to be able to find backup for this information. You can't just go off the hop and call it fact.
Definitely. I mean, it takes a while. Share the screen right here for a second.
Okay.
I'll show you this.
Okay, there we go.
Let me try to. I can't zoom it in. This is the directions for all the RSOs that live around where Michael witnessing.
Oh my word.
Each of these lines directs you to where they are. It's easy. Some are close by.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4,
and then
5,
down.
6. That one's really close.
And then just beside it. Yep.
8.
Oh.
9. So yeah, there's about 9 that are, I would say, within reasonably a good, close.
Not very far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And the thing is even these other ones that have branched off to be a little bit further, they're not, I mean, these people, they're skilled. They know to go to a small area. They know how to do this.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Molly, that is. That's only the registered ones.
Exactly.
That's not the ones that are flying under the radar that either A, have never been caught.
Yeah.
Or B, they've been caught elsewhere and then they've migrated into these other communities and not registered.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because that happens too.
Well, that's what kind of just happened with that other case we were talking about
with Kylie Rodney whenever
Yeah,
whenever they went after the RSOs that were in
They
the
got-
neighborhood around the campground.
exactly. There was 2 that they were able to press charges on.
Yeah, there was 2 of them. I don't know if it was what the charges are though. I don't know if it was failure to register
No,
or were they in possession of something they weren't supposed to be, or if it was that kind of deal.
exactly. I
But
think the one was for failure to report, but the second one, I'm not sure. And then they had a third one. I think that they were, I don't know if they were pressing charges or not. I don't know what was going on with that third guy. Do you remember?
I don't know. All I remember hearing about was the 2.
The 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know about a third one.
They need to find an island like far
Hey,
away.
that has been my idea for a while now, and people tell me we can't do that. I'm
They
like,
did it-
why not? All right. If you give them everything they need on this island, put them a grocery store there, whatever, or
Yeah.
give them the tools they need to start farming. They can live off the land. They'll be fine.
Yes,
know.
exactly. And
I'm saying, put you some video cameras up there. We'll call it
Yep.
Pedo Island, and we'll turn it into a reality show, and people can watch. That way, they can still be monitored, but yet they're living their life. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't think that they get better.
No,
You know.
they don't.
So-
I mean, there is a lot of things people can be rehabilitated from, but being an offender, I don't think is one of them.
I don't think so.
I
I
think
mean-
that is something that unfortunately it is hardwired into their brains, and
I agree.
you can't change that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you might be able to put them on some kind of like psych meds and things like that, and try to control it.
Yeah.
But there's no way to cure these people. There's no cure for that.
No, there's not. And you hear a lot of people that'll say, well, castrate them. But that doesn't, all that does is it doesn't fix the brain. It makes them use objects.
Right. I mean, there's no fixing them. And honestly, I don't even know why they bother to let them out.
Mm-mm. No,
Because look at the high rate of reoffenders.
exactly. Exactly. I agree. Let's not waste those islands on pedos.
Radio.
Some of
said
the nice ones. We'll take
Radio
them
God
all.
said those people. I'm in. Exactly. Those people. Let's do it.
There we go. I like this.
Those people, I'm in. Exactly. Well, yeah, Antarctica's good. Can we carve them out a little ice chunk or something they can go live on?
Now that I'm all for, right?
Go live on an ice chunk, or put them out, somewhere where nobody wants to be.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, the middle of the Arctic would probably do it.
I don't know. Drop them out in the ocean, feed them to sharks. Is that too much?
No.
Yeah, it might be taking a little too far. Yeah. Hey, shark lives matter. They got to eat too,
Exactly.
There you go.
Sharks' lives matter.
Exactly. Sharks get hungry. They don't discriminate. So there you go. I don't know. Actually, they might. They might just spit that out like ew.
Exactly. Chew it up and spit it out.
That's disgusting.
But if they, at one point, as we know, they put people with leprosy on islands.
Right.
They were so afraid of. So why can't we do that with these broken people? I don't see a reason why not. And you put them on an island where they're surrounded by sharks, like Alcatraz. Someplace that's, they can live their lives away from us.
Well, that's what I'm saying, or at least, can we take like some of these like abandoned neighborhoods and just kind of fence them in and put them there?
Oh, yeah. Sadly, a murderer is more likely to get rehabilitated than an offender.
Right.
I don't know quite how that works, but a guy might go out and, I don't know, accidentally or get into a fight or one of those one punch situations.
Yeah, I mean, if you murdering somebody, I think people can, they can bounce back from that and do great things in their life. But now serial killers, that's a totally different story.
That's a different story. That's a
Yeah,
different story.
that's a different one altogether. Serial killers are another one they're never going to be changed. They're never going to be fixed.
Oh, no, absolutely not. So I just can't help but think that they would still find a way. Some of those guys are smart as SOBs. And that's the thing. That is the thing.
Yeah, they are smart. And if they would use that for good instead of the evil nastiness that they do, they might be a functioning member of society.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Usually the ones that end up doing this type of, they make them get gone. These people are not fixable. They're not. The Summer Wells case, there's another interesting one. You don't know. There's so many SOs around there. The family's all mixed up.
That's another one too. I mean, there is a lot surrounding them and a lot that they're friends with.
Yeah. Yeah, lots is coming out in that case, but it doesn't seem to be making any headway.
It's really not, and that's sad too. I mean, I hate to see that.
Oh, absolutely.
I hate to see that in any of these cases. Like, I don't want to see any of these cases take years and years and years to be over with.
No, exactly. I'm just going to be 2 seconds. I got to get a liquid or I'm not going to be able to talk.
All right. But I mean, you can definitely see a difference though in the cases that we're covering. A lot of these cases, like Michael Vaughn, for example, his family is doing anything and everything they can to figure out what happened to him and to bring him home. But Summer's case, sadly, her family's not doing that.
They really aren't.
I mean, they acted out. They made complete fools of themselves online in the beginning. Yep. And now Don's locked up in jail and Candace is hiding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who does that leave to be a voice for Summer and to keep pushing law enforcement to keep doing the right thing and keep, on top of her case?
Well, did you ever think that really they did try to help? I don't think they ever really tried to help.
It doesn't seem like it. Oh, yeah. Doug, good to see you. Glad you're here.
Hi, mister. Thank you so much. Nice to see you. I stole your girl.
Right?
I've been needing her help so badly. She's been great. You really have. I appreciate everything.
Well, no problem.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I would, I don't know. So what do you think about it? Do you think that there's ever going to be any closure on Summer?
I hope so, but at this point, it doesn't really. Sadly, it doesn't look like there's anything moving.
No.
I have an entire notebook full of ones that I check for updates for every day.
Okay.
I go through, and that's the majority of my morning is spent sitting right here going through every name on this list, trying to find anything and everything that I can, and think of any possible way that I can try to put something out there that's gonna, maybe jog somebody's memory or put a foot in somebody's rear end to get them to start talking about it and do the right thing. But
yeah.
there's so many of them. There's just nothing.
Well, and that's it. And you know,
Summer
right
Wells, there's nothing. Cody Bigsby, there's nothing.
the West Boys.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they did an entire press conference for Cody Bigsby, and they didn't even put up a single picture of him during the press conference.
Unreal.
The entire press conference was centered around Corey's innocent. He's not been treated fairly. He's this. He's that. I'm like, it's not about him.
Yeah, exactly.
How about we get back to the little baby that's missing, because that's what it's about.
Exactly. Yeah.
They didn't share a single missing flyer. They barely even spoke the child's name. It was more about the family trying to attack law enforcement for their mistakes and trying to make Corey look innocent.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And I'm like, that's another one where, again, the person that's missing is getting lost in this forest of BS that's going on.
Yes, exactly. Hey, thank you, Victoria. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know.
At least in Michael's case, they, see, it seems like Fruitland Police Department is staying on top of it.
Right.
I know that Brandy said that they are, they're sending her updates. Anytime she has a question, she's got somebody she can reach out to, and they can,
Exactly.
If they don't have the answer, they'll find it for her.
Yeah. Yeah. They seem to be working together very well.
That seems to be, and for a small police department, I think they're doing a great job.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why some of these law enforcement are against working with families. I don't quite understand that concept, because either way, dealing with the parents, you're going to find out if there's any kind of guilty association or if they're completely innocent. The only way I think that they're really going to be able to find this out is by working with the parents. Nothing you can do if they won't work with you. But Brandy has been very fortunate to have, like you say, a small department that's willing to bend over backwards.
Right. And I don't understand I don't know what it's going to take for us to put that disconnect back together. Right. Between these families and law enforcement. I mean, look at Jalissa. Mm-hmm. Her family is begging law enforcement, please do something, help us, tell us something, and they're giving them nothing.
Nothing. So what did you think of that press conference? To me, it was almost like they talked in circles.
They really did. I mean, I don't know if maybe they should have picked a different spokesperson for the group. Maybe that was the issue.
Did you see that one guy in the back, that one cop? He was getting redder and redder and redder through the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure it's a little embarrassing.
Well, I mean, it's got to be,
Yeah.
It's got to be hard for them to have to get up there in front of camera crews and admit that they have nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, and I'm sure it's frustrating for them, and it's embarrassing for them to have to say that. But I would rather them come out and say, as a police department, I would rather them just come out and say, hey, you know what? We need help with this. We can't do this by ourselves. We need another agency to come in and help us. We need people with more resources than us. Tell us what you need, and if we can get it for them, if we can find a way, somebody that can help get it for them, we'll do what we can do on our end.
Exactly.
I would rather them, just be open and honest about it. Hey, we need help.
And if they were honest about it, they'd get all that help. There's
exactly instead of trying to be the hero. I get it. They're law enforcement. They think they're supposed to know everything and be able to do all this. But, even they need the public's help.
Absolutely. I think all of these cases, I mean, don't give out certain information by all means, but
Right.
I think in some cases they need to share a little bit more because social media is proving to be a great asset.
It really is. I mean,
Mhm.
you know,
Look at-
and their whole thing, their whole thing is, oh, well, social media is not going to solve a case. YouTube's not going to solve a case. Well, would you like us to start listing off all the ways in which you're wrong?
That's
Because
right.
we can do that.
Exactly. Even like a small channel, you reach people that have larger audiences who send stuff out. And as their channel's growing, keep sharing, The more
Right. I mean, if you've just got one person that you're reaching, at least you've reached one.
Yeah.
At
Right?
least you've reached one, and that one can then pass it on to somebody else. I mean, that's what it's about anyway.
Well, this is it. It's not about the police stations. It's not about their egos. It's more, they have to let go of those egos, I think, a little bit and learn that they have to start working with. Social media would be a good place to start, but absolutely with the families,
Right. I mean, they have to put that disconnect back together.
They really do. I mean, let's look at that. AWP is a social platform.
Yeah.
Social media
platform. I mean, and look at the people they have found, the closure they have brought to families.
Absolutely.
Some of those families have been waiting for years for answers.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of law enforcement getting upset with them because they couldn't find them, but yet Adventures with Purpose did.
In 35
maybe they need to start asking the question, why was Adventures with Purpose able to come in here and do what we couldn't? Why is that? What is the problem? What can we fix? What do we need to do differently so that we can all be on the same team and be on the same level?
Well, this is it. And nobody is asking for details that are going to hurt the case if it's released. Nobody wants that.
Well, no, of course not.
Some of these things, there's no reason to keep it quiet. It would help the case. It would help the case immensely. But they even seem, they even seem to not want locals helping in searches. After they're done with an area, I don't know why anyone who wants to search can't go in afterwards. Once they've cleared an area in their minds.
Right.
There's a lot of groups out there that are willing to help search. So I think maybe once they're done theirs, and if these people have luck, be grateful. Don't feel like it's competition. Be grateful.
Exactly. I mean, it's not a competition.
Exactly.
Yeah, Doug, you're right about that.
I agree.
AWP did. They did embarrass that police department.
Yep.
Did.
It took them that day 35 minutes to find her once they hit that Prosser Reserve.
Right.
They put it in. What did they do? They put their boat in at something like 10:35, and something like 11:10 or 11:15, they had located her car.
Yeah.
And I don't know how all of those drones missed that car, because before when they were going over top of it, before they started to pull it out, that car was very visible in there, or truck. Did you notice that? How visible it was?
It was, but law enforcement, they're saying, okay, well, the reason they found her was because the water had went down. The water was much higher when we were out there. It's just because, all right, if they knew the water was going down, why didn't they go back out there and recheck it?
Exactly.
You went out there and you checked it. You knew the water was high. You knew conditions were not favorable.
Yeah.
So once that water started going down, why didn't you get back out there and recheck it?
Exactly. And
Instead
even
of instead of giving them, Adventures with Purpose said, they gave them a grid map
Mhm.
and said, okay, well, we've already droned this, we've had helicopters over it, there's nothing there, but if you want to waste your time, here, go look.
yeah, 35 minutes. They cleared, what was it called, Donner? And then they
Yeah,
cleared
was,
the next one.
mhm.
And then the day that they were able to find her, 35 minutes or something like that. Like that is shameful for the police. Like, it's shameful. She was, let's say, 2 feet more. Like, it didn't drop that much, but we'll give him 2 feet.
Yeah,
You're still going to see that vehicle, and you should have still been out there.
55 feet out, 14 feet down.
See? Exactly.
If they had had Boca, that's what the name of it was. Thank you, Doug.
Okay.
It was the Boca Reservoir that they cleared first.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it. It was in my mind somewhere, but it was lost. Thank you.
Yeah, Doug, took them an hour if you include their coffee, breakfast, and
their pot, right?
15 minutes to actually locate the car.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just something, And
the question that Placer County now needs to be asking Adventures with Purpose is, what kind of equipment do y'all use? Where did you get it at?
And
can somebody guide us in a direction to where we can get that equipment?
This is it. And I don't know what the US is like, but some of the funding in Canada and where they choose to put it is almost embarrassing. Like, you don't need dinosaur statues, you need new roads.
Right.
Things like that, right?
It is in the United States too. That's always their excuse for everything, is we don't have money.
Now,
you don't have money, but yet you've got money to give your mayors, your governors, your senators. They all get a pay raise.
Exactly.
So they get pay raises every year, but you don't have money to take care of your missing people, your search crews. You don't have money to take care of the kids, the CPS. They don't have money for that.
Exactly. Well, we'll see if maybe Doug knows if he's still out there when Adventures with Purpose is supposed to arrive. Do you know that?
I've heard they're supposed to be out there tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Okay. Yeah, I think they're headed that way. They should be there. They should be there by tomorrow or Friday at the latest.
Okay. Well, if she's in waterways, I was quite surprised how many water there was actually there once a person started looking.
Yeah, they're going to be out there either tomorrow or Friday, and they're going to start looking around the Pine Lake, that Pine Flats area.
Yeah.
And Avocado. They're going to start looking up in there.
The last ping was around Avocado.
Yes, it was the Avocado and Pine Flats area.
Okay.
Because all of that whole area is pretty much connected. It's all right there on one road, one strip all together.
Oh, is it? Okay. So then does that mean a vehicle would be close to all of this? Possibilities of accidents? Is the waterway close enough?
Yeah, I could see where that would be possible, but I know, like, that Avocado area, like Doug said, is, that area is monitored. It's gated. It's locked off at a certain time of night.
Okay.
So the chances of her being able to get into there, that's would be pretty slim in my opinion. But I guess it's still possible.
Do you think?
But Doug droned that area really good, and I didn't see anything in the drone footage that would lead me to believe that a vehicle went off in there.
Right. Well, don't law enforcement have a shot of her coming back? Isn't that what was happening in that one that they're not releasing, that Ellie had another screen or another, I don't know. She's located on another piece of footage coming back from that area.
Well, what they've got is when she left the AM/PM ARCO, whichever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
When she left there, she took that left onto Nebraska.
Right.
They have got another piece of footage of her on a different street going back the other direction toward the Avocado Lake area.
Okay. So
I don't know what street it was they picked her up on or what route she took to get back in that direction.
Do you know that footage that is at the AM/PM?
Yeah.
So do you think anything, I'll start at the beginning there. Do you think there was a passenger in the vehicle when she pulled up? Do you think there was anyone in that back? So do I. Yeah. So, and then after she paid for that blunt, that fellow walked behind her and went out that door.
Yeah, he went to the left and she went to the right whenever she went out.
Did you notice? Okay, she got to the door and she kind of like peeked around to see if anyone was there. She took a couple steps out. She stopped, looked like she was talking to someone, and then turned around.
I believe she was talking to the guy that had just walked out in front of her.
That's what I think as well. But
that's what I was thinking.
I've heard that Ellie is saying that she didn't talk to anybody in that store that was in that area. So I'm wondering if maybe they haven't seen that video or if it's, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they have to have more video of her besides just leaving the store.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are when she made that left, there are other businesses over there. There's a car lot. There's businesses across the street. There's other places that had security cameras that she should have been picked up on.
Okay. So the highway she was on, is there going to be anything as far as footage from there, do you think? Is there any cameras?
Yeah, that's what I don't know, because I don't know what direction she took to go when she turned back toward that Avocado Lake area.
She did not.
The Avocado Lake area would be going east.
Right.
She was going west when she left the gas station. So at some point she had to have turned around and headed back the other way.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah.
But I don't believe she was still on Nebraska, because they're not saying they have any footage from, all they said was that they have, footage of her in another location. So they've not really specifically said.
So resident footage doesn't pick her up on their cameras. But in my mind, there's got to be something.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a car lot right there that has to have, I would assume they had cameras. It's a car lot. They should have outside cameras.
Absolutely.
That they should have picked her up on.
Yeah.
Possibly
absolutely.
any other businesses that she may have went by.
And then the highways, we don't know. So Avocado, is that where the lake, that one gets locked up at night? Is it Avocado?
Yes.
We get lots. Okay. So she didn't go in there.
No, I don't see how she would have went in there. I mean, if she went in there, she would have went in there without her car. She could have possibly climbed the fence and went over.
Right.
Right. That really wouldn't make any sense why do that.
And the other area is just vast, right? It's got that great big lake.
It is.
And then acres and acres and acres.
Yeah, that's that Pine Flat area is, from looking at it on Google Maps, it looks like it's a pretty big area.
Yeah. So I know that Ellie says that they've searched out there and the family says they've searched out there. I wonder how much coverage they've been able to get if it's that big. Like, they could use some help.
They definitely could. I mean, especially, if you've seen the drone video that Doug has, the police department, they were literally out there in a boat with a stick. That was their searching water.
Is that what they were doing? I was watching his footage.
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
Oh my God.
They were in a boat and they had this big long stick that they were going and poking down in the water.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's their search method.
Yeah, that's great technique. Well, I mean, if she's in the water, there's no doubt that Doug and his crew will find her. And
I mean,
it's not really
that's what I'm saying. I don't think she's in that Avocado Lake area because Doug droned that really good. I mean, damn good. And I didn't see any signs at all that a vehicle that went off in there anywhere.
What about that King River?
That runs alongside there, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know how deep that is or how.
I heard it was like a fair size and it's still running pretty good. Like it's gone down, but there's still the canals, I guess, are empty.
Right.
Right. But I heard that is still, Doug might know better. He's probably seen it, but someone I was speaking with yesterday said that it was still flowing pretty good.
Right. I mean, I'm sure that's another area that they might actually be looking in.
Yeah. Because again, we're kind of like we were with Kylie. We don't have the best search in front of it. Lots of water and not the best equipment or people with knowledge to know how to search these waterways. Right. So if you don't find her, at least they're going to know to get busy, maybe searching that property that's around that lake, that Pine. Is it Pine Lake or is it a
Pine Flats?
Pine Flats.
Yeah. Yeah, Pine Flats. There's a dam up there too.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There's a dam up there on that end of it.
I wonder, do you know if it's fast flowing?
Usually if it's up around a dam, it is. If she went off in there in her vehicle, then that vehicle is probably sucked up against that dam somewhere, and they're gonna have to have some sonar and some equipment like Adventures with Purpose has to get up in there and see that.
Well, if they're using a stick,
yeah, it's the magic water stick.
Right.
I guess come on, they're doing the best they can. You know?
Yeah.
They do what they can.
With a stick.
Yeah, with a stick.
Oh my word. Yeah,
I guess at least they were out there attempting to do something. I mean that's that's from what I've seen, that's more than what we have been getting.
Absolutely.
You know, at least they were trying to do something there.
A little girl that's.
I just, I hope now that maybe we've made enough noise and the family's made enough noise that they're going to start, taking it seriously and getting some other resources brought in there for them.
Well, and it's almost sounding like there has been very little effort put into this as far as Ellie goes. Like that, by the sounds of things, was their first presser.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first one. That's the first one I had seen.
Yeah,
and I thought it was very poor judgment that they did not notify the family ahead of time they were even doing a press conference.
You see? Yeah, I don't understand.
They notified the family like minutes before they was ready to actually go out and start talking.
Exactly.
It was like at the last minute. Hey, by the way, we're fixing to start talking about what's going on. You better get here.
Right.
I mean, you would think that they would schedule that and contact the family and let them know to where they can make arrangements to be there. They need to be there for that. I mean, it's just another case where they're not involving the family like they should.
Yeah. Now
it's that disconnect again for whatever reason. I don't understand why that is.
Yeah, I don't either. I cannot see, unless family is suspect, and I don't see where this family is.
No.
I don't see why they can't keep them up to some kind of speed. Like you say, even the presser, they should be aware of this stuff.
Definitely. I mean, they should have made arrangements ahead of time. They should have notified them at least the day before.
Exactly.
That, hey, tomorrow at noon or 2:00, whatever, we're going to do this press conference. You need to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of waiting until, minutes before and being like, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you, but we're fixing to be doing a press conference.
Oh, and like I said, what a sad press conference that ended up being anyways.
Right.
You learned nothing except basically they haven't been doing a lot.
Speaking of press conference, we need to find out from Doug, did they ever put the flyer up at the police station?
I was wondering the same thing. They almost
I wonder if they ever put it up.
I would certainly hope so. The way that guy was looking at that piece of paper, you'd think that Doug was handing him, like, I don't know what, but he was horrified to be even taking that paper. And then he looked at that window like, oh, but it's so full.
I'm like, yeah, it's so full. It's got one piece of paper up there.
Right, exactly. And why would you have to ask a supervisor if you can put a missing person? They're the cop shop. Like, come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sorry, when it comes to putting up missing person flyers, I'm not asking nobody's permission.
Right?
I'm not asking nobody nothing. I'm going to do it, and if you got a problem with it, we'll deal with it later.
Exactly.
I mean, that's usually the way I operate anyway. Just do it first and ask for forgiveness later. Right? Exactly. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. It'll be okay.
Right? Yeah. It's just all of these cases have got so many different tentacles. You've got to dig through one and then dig through another one and then try and figure out what's honest out of the two of them.
Right.
Take that. And these cases, they're insane. It's either the parents don't seem to care or the cops don't seem to care.
Right. I mean, it's difficult to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
I think as far as for Jalissa, I think what I would be most interested to know is who her closest friends are.
Yeah.
Who are those friends that when she wants to go out and smoke with somebody, who are those friends that she normally contacts? What is her typical go-to friend group?
Absolutely. Yeah. Good question.
Because if she turned, she turned going the opposite direction from her house, most likely that tells me she was going to pick somebody up.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
I mean, she appeared to already have somebody in the vehicle with her when she was at the gas station. But it's possible, hey, I'm going to stop by the store and I'm going to grab this wrap and then I'm going to be over there. I'll be over to pick you up.
That makes total sense. Yeah, it does. It does.
If the store is on her way to wherever her destination is to pick up whoever she was picking up, that would make sense to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to know who her friend group is. Who is her go-to group to hang out with?
Yeah.
I mean, we know the brother is who she wanted to hang out with.
Yes.
But he was not there.
Right.
So who would be her next in line? Who is her next go-to?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Those are the people that they need to be talking to.
I agree. Good
to see when's the last time they seen her, when's the last time they talked to her, did she call you, did she try to FaceTime you, whatever.
Exactly. Yes. Because she seemed pretty desperate to talk to somebody. She didn't seem ready to call it a night.
Right.
So it almost made me wonder what could possibly be going on, that at that early time she was trying to get a hold of her brother and her sister. And
well, that's what I wonder too. I do know that about a year ago, one of her best friends was murdered.
Oh, is that what happened? I knew she passed away, but I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. People are saying that one of her best friends was murdered about a year ago.
Okay.
And that, obviously she's kind of, having a hard time dealing with that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's probably, to me, that may be the reason why, if her friend happened to be on her mind at that time,
Yeah, that makes
that's
sense.
why she's wanting people to hang out with, people to talk to, people to, be around.
Oh, yeah. 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 It's just, it seemed to me like, why is she trying to reach people to hang out with at 4:30 in the morning?
Yeah, I mean, if she's going through a stressful time and she's, got a lot going on, she most likely wouldn't want to just go home and sit by herself with her thoughts on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, that would make sense to me, that that could be why she was out.
Yeah, that absolutely. Absolutely. So was it like the 1 year anniversary of her friend's death? Are we getting close to that 1 year mark?
I don't know. See, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Especially after a little bit to drink. Could there be something? That's a good question. Lilith, she's a skinny pig.
Skinny pig.
A skinny pig. Could there be something tied to the murder or the suspects? Gang activity.
See, I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances of her friend's death were. I don't know. I mean, if I had a name of that friend, I could investigate that and find out what the circumstances were, and if the person responsible has been, accounted for or not. But I don't know that information.
Right. Yeah. So do you know if there's gang activity through any of these areas?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
There is.
It's Fresno, so I'm sure there is.
Okay. So is Fresno a dangerous spot now?
From what I've heard, I mean, but it's probably not that much different than any other big city. All big cities have their issues in different areas.
Because I've heard a few people say, well, it's Fresno. So I thought, oh, I wonder if it's,
right.
How meth is really predominant in some places and cocaine in another place. And
I think I have been hearing there's a lot of like trafficking that goes on in that area.
Okay.
There's a lot of that kind of activity that goes on. And
Okay.
of course, just about any city nowadays is going to have their drug problems.
So is it on?
Yeah, you're right, Lilith. Every city does have their demons. They do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some are worse than others, but they've all got their problems.
So is there some kind of corridor there that people traffic? They go from one end to another, or is trafficking just a big problem? Period.
That I'm not sure about. Like, I don't know if there's like one particular area or if it's just as a collective whole, the entire city. I don't know.
Because you hear, like in Dylan Round's case, you hear that could be a trafficking corridor. And same thing with Summer. You're talking about that with Summer's case. And
with Dylan's, I don't see that. I mean, he's out in the desert. He's in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not like it's not like they get a high volume of people going through there to get from point A to point B.
Right.
There are interstates and there are other options to go around. So.
Right. Their biggest problem there seems to be that meth again.
Their problem there seems to be a lot of things,
A lot of things.
just saying.
When I was researching at the very beginning,
the fact that it seems like that's a place where they send all the people, the criminals they don't want to deal with anywhere else.
All the nut bars.
They just kind of send them out there in the desert, and I'll go play in the desert. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Oh my goodness, the stuff that happens in this desert. People shooting at camping people and
Right.
people. I had to.
Well, they think what happens in the desert stays in the desert.
Could very well be the case.
They've got an opinion too there. Puppy has an opinion. Puppy has thoughts. Come on now.
She does. She's always got a. There you go. Oh, there you go, baby girl. Oh yes. Oh yes. You're getting her hug. She needs your hug.
I don't know. I just hope that when Adventures Purpose gets out there, I hope they can find something for Jalissa's family. I mean, it's
absolutely, and maybe it will get other people get their butts in gear and start doing a little bit of searching themselves.
Right. I mean, I know they've got a lot of like locals that are out there trying to do what they can and trying to search and trying to pass out flyers and things like that, but they really need that police presence to back them up on this.
I agree with you. Aw, fur baby. Yeah, she's my fur baby. My son, I was telling you, he's 30 now. And I swear, sometimes it's still like my arms and legs are missing. You still want to be able to pick him up and put him on my knee. But I think he would punch me.
Probably.
Can I just cuddle you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that maybe if we keep speaking out for Jalissa and her family, I think maybe we'll get the attention of the right people eventually.
Absolutely.
Gotta start paying attention. I need to check and see if they have updated this file. They probably have.
Hey, is you being good? Is you being good? I don't have any treats right now. I agree, Lilith.
No, they have not.
No?
Okay. I got you.
Doug's been out today.
Excuse me, what? I'm sorry.
Doug, has he been out today with his drone?
He left last night going back home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he droned the areas they needed him to do, and that that way Adventures Purpose would have that information whenever they get out there. So,
Awesome.
and they're supposed to be out there. They're headed that way. So
Good. Yeah, I seen
that way
it
they'll have that.
when they were floating around in their boat and their stick. I didn't
Right.
realize that was a stick. Ah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's one of them. They're poking sticks.
Poking sticks. Unreal. And Doug, he asked, is there any place you guys want drones? Well, no wonder they said no. There's nothing in this lake.
I know it's sad, man. It really is. But
Wow. Well, yeah, Adventures with Purpose, they'll clear it or they'll find something. And if they don't find her, it gets a little scary because all of a
that's what I'm
sudden,
saying. If they don't find her where her last phone pings at, then I don't know what direction to go in next.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. Well, we'll just keep that family in our hearts and just keep pushing out as much as we can.
Definitely, it's what we're going to do, and keep praying for them. Keep praying for this police department to get it together and get the resources in there that they need. And
I agree.
hopefully, if there's anything that we can do, they'll reach out and let us know that. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully, right?
Definitely. I mean, we're going to continue to keep updated with the family and make sure that they're that they're getting everything they need. And if they're not, then we'll see what we can do to to help them. I mean,
well, exactly. And it's nice because a person can, especially with a channel like Doug's that has a larger following.
right.
When these families need something, it does not take longer or that long to be able to get enough money together to be able to help in some way.
Right. Right. I mean, and that's what we do this for. That's what it's about. Is
exactly.
To be able to come together as a group, as a team, as a family.
Yes.
To do what we can to help.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I find that it's us people that have dealt with trauma in life that really fight to help these people.
Right.
We've got a different sense about what they're going through than someone that hasn't gone through some of this stuff.
Yeah. That's definitely true. I mean,
yeah. And I mean, the compassion, if we've gone through it ourselves and we see somebody going through the same thing, it's like your heart just drops,
Right. I mean, you can't, me personally, I can't help it,
Exactly.
I take on so much of the emotions of all of these cases.
Yep.
And it's like you can't let it go. You can't let it go until they have answers.
Oh, this is it. And with Kylie the other day, that was like a kick in the stomach. And I knew that it was not going to be good. It just wasn't going to be a good outcome. Come on.
Definitely. I mean, that to me, that one's not over with yet either, though.
Do you think that there's still going to be something? I'm starting to wonder.
I don't know. But even if it comes down to it, that it was just a unfortunate accident,
Mm-hmm.
I still think that there are answers that the family needs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They need to know who was providing the alcohol. They need to know if she in fact was given drugs, who gave her the drugs, what were those drugs.
Yeah.
They still need those answers.
They do.
And it's not going to be over for them until they have those answers and until they have their baby girl back to lay her to rest.
Yeah.
Because even though they know where she's at, they still don't have that closure.
I agree.
So I mean, it's still going to be a long, hard road for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's tragic. Yeah, they'll have to find out. I mean, if there's drugs in her system on top of drinking, I mean, I don't think she was a seasoned drinker.
No.
She probably drank the odd time, but I don't think that she was dealing with alcoholism or anything like that.
No, definitely not.
But something had to be very off because there was a pretty good stretch from where that road ended to where that vehicle might have gone in.
Right.
Have you noticed that, looking at that it stops? Like she would have nothing on either side of her for a while. And I'm wondering how that wasn't an indication to her that she was in the wrong direction. I don't know. I just, in my mind, the road ended and then there was that stretch of sandbar and then the water.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't look like there was much of a drop. So I'm wondering how she didn't know to turn off her engine when she hit that water, because she would have had to have driven through some of that before she hit that deep dip.
Right. I mean, that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, you would think she would have been able to see
yes
where she was. I mean, I get it. There's no lights out there. There's no street lights. There's no security lights, nothing like that. But
her brights would still.
In a 2013 vehicle, your lights are going to come on, and your headlights are going to come on automatically when you start the vehicle.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness, girl.
I mean, that was my first thought. The headlights are going to come on automatically. So if you're looking at where you're going.
Yes. So how did they not see those headlights? Like, I don't know how long underwater. She likes pretzels. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, me either. Me either, because I do find that a little suspicious. From watching different things with Adventures with Purpose, I understand how the car ends up upside down now. I do understand how that happens.
Yeah, I get how they turn over. A lot of cars do once they're fully submerged.
Well, sure. Because you got the motor in the front, which is, of course, and then you hit the water. It's buoyant. You got those tires, so it's buoyant.
Yeah, I mean, and then whenever it starts filling up with water, you've got that air bubble that happens that helps facilitate that rollover as well. I mean, I can see where that happens.
Yeah, yeah. But then I guess
my thing is, I mean, was she driving out of there?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly, could she have blacked out? Could she have blacked out and the car just rolled off into the water? Because it doesn't look like she was going at a high rate of speed.
Exactly.
If she was going at a high rate of speed, you would have definitely seen obvious signs of that, and she would have been further out than what she was.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's still not making sense in my mind quite yet.
I'm just wondering if the accident reconstruction people are going to be able to find enough tire tracks, enough clues out there to be able to put the scene back together to figure it out. Right.
Well, and it did rain that night, so from 3 to about 5 in the morning is what I heard. So
right.
that would have the tracks dealt with if she was driving, like if that sand was compact.
Yeah.
Then when it rains, I mean, that'll just wash away. But I was noticing even when they were pulling her car out, that really there wasn't a lot of tracks being left. Just when they yanked her out at the very end, and I guess probably her back tires were digging in, or it would have been the front tires, I guess.
Yeah, the front end of it seemed like it was kind of locked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure. Lilith, you see, I seen a report that said all those windows were up. So I'm very curious as to why that one window was half down. I'm thinking maybe it was broken in the front when the car flipped over. And the same thing, because they said that the windows were up and they were leaving them that way so that they didn't lose her.
Right. So they preserve anything that was inside the vehicle.
Yes, exactly.
I mean that's usually what they do. But
yeah,
I was told by somebody, and again, it's just something I was told. I don't know that it's a fact. Could be totally wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that the side mirror got broken when they were trying to connect the cables to the car to get it out of the water.
That makes sense.
That one of the cables slipped and hit the mirror and broke it.
That makes sense.
And
Total sense.
That it, that driver's window being busted, that could have possibly been how that was done too.
I think it pretty much has to be, because when they said the windows were up, and when they found her, she was in the back, and I guess that's normal. That's fairly normal.
If whenever she went into the water, either A, she was not wearing her seatbelt,
right,
or B, she panicked and was able to get her seatbelt undone, but couldn't figure out how to get out.
Yes, and that's kind of what I heard. This is kind of, I guess.
Either one. Yeah, either one of those.
They said that sadly, what happens is, of course, the front end is going in, so it's not uncommon for people to try and scramble to the back where that air pocket is to try and get out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the way that they covered up that vehicle, I do believe she was not in the, I think she was in the very back. I don't think she was in the back seat. Just my guess, or my feelings on that. Yes, the mirror was broke because they were only using tow cables. Oh my word.
Right.
Yeah, because like Lilith is saying, AWP, they use those airbags and they put it on, so it just kind of floats to the top and it's an easy pull in. It's a lot safer than using just a tow. And one of those things, if they snap, oh my word. I mean, all sorts of bad things can happen.
Exactly.
I was noticing on that footage that people were literally walking and stepping over top of that tow rope to carry on to wherever they were going. I was like, what are you doing? You got a lot more faith in a piece of rope than I do.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. When we used to have to pull people out with our truck, it was a tri-drive, a great big truck. So we did lots of pulling, but yeah, you didn't go anywhere near the winch or near anything that's going to harm you. So, yeah.
I'm just glad, that they did find her and, they were able to, get at least that much of an answer for her family.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Now we just need the same thing for Jalissa and her family.
That's right. That's right.
We need answers for them.
Yeah. Well, hopefully between AWP and, content providers, maybe we can all push a little bit and keep them working instead of getting lazy. Because that seems to be the biggest issue in my mind is laziness.
It is. Well, I hate to do it, but I'm fixing to have to jump off here, honey, because I've got to get supper started. Hunter's complaining. He's hungry. So.
No, thank you for spending all this time with me. I
not a problem.
Appreciate you very, very much.
Not
and
a
I'm
problem.
going to probably jump off as well. So I'll keep watching for your notifications, see if anything pops through. Yeah, just about 3 hours. Thank you, everybody, for being here. That's awesome. Okay, well, I'll see if
Thank you for having me. Thank you all for being here. I will get with you, I don't know, maybe later on this afternoon, and we'll figure out that whole logo thing with StreamYards and all that kind of stuff. I'll see if I can walk you through doing that. So,
okay.
Yeah. Not a problem. Not a problem. I mean,
it's appreciated.
We got to help each other out. Is what we do. So.
Appreciated. Now, are you going to be doing anything, or are you going to wait for this evening?
Not sure. I don't. Just depends on how the evening goes. I've got a couple things I got to take care of, and I got to get supper done. So.
Okay.
If I don't get something up on my channel before we go back over on Doug's, then I'll do something after that. So.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
I'll definitely let y'all know what's going on.
Well, then we will see you later this evening, and thank you once again.
All right. Thank you.
And thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Okay. I guess that's that. Thank you again, and we'll see y'all later. We'll see you at either No Thanks or Crime and Justice. Okay. Thank you.